What's up, hybrids? Welcome back to another episode of the Fandom Hybrid Podcast. This is Hanako, and I am here with Anthony, Lori, and Mike, and we are talking about the return of The Boys, Season 3, Episode 1.
Excuse me. Sorry. Oh, man. Sorry about that.
That's not funny. Okay, it actually is funny.
That was a great way to open up, though. You know, I was thinking about this before when this episode came out. I was like, I'm so ready for this to come back because, you know, The Boys is the show that we launched this podcast on.
Right.
Yeah.
In September of 2020. It was season 2. And I was like, wait, that means it's been almost 2 years. It's been almost 2 years.
That's crazy.
Yep.
I have missed this show. And boy, they did not disappoint on this return. Like, from jump.
How about that hard opening?
How about Charlize Theron being like all the superheroes and all the things?
Every universe. Like she is like going across every universe now.
When I saw that, I was like, is that who I think that is? And I was like, oh my God. And then I'm sitting there going, you know, because they do the little movie thing. I'm like, I want to see a full-length movie with them having her, you know, playing Stormfront, because that was actually cool.
No, that was disturbing because she was so good at it.
I mean, she was taking advantage of her South African dialect to kind of put that little tang in there. I was like,
you know what? And I love the fact that they got her to do this because if I'm not mistaken, Stormfront in the comics was a blonde-haired, blue-eyed woman or a man, I think. So the fact that they kind of the fact that they kind of went back to the comic roots on the look, I was like, okay, this is cool. But yeah, she's just appearing in all the things, and I am not mad at it at all.
Same.
But it was so. You know, all these movies within a movie and the news within the show and all this other stuff, they're so cringeworthy because it's like watching that. I'm like, oh, do we really need to see this? And like the purposefully bad acting with all of them. And he's not alone. And I was like, please don't let that be Starlight. And it was Starlight. And it sounded so ridiculously fake. Oh my goodness. But it's so funny watching Homelander act in this, you know, this little movie because this is literally his life. And you could see him struggling to get out all of these lines where he's calling her a Nazi bitch and talking about how, you know, he didn't. It's just so interesting because I will say this. So at this point when we're recording, 4 episodes have aired. And we're only talking about the first episode, but I will say Anthony Starr's facial expressions for this season so far, he needs to get some kind of award because you can see everything Homelander.
We can't give everybody awards.
He needs it though. His face needs the award.
You know, we gotta give Oscar Isaac one first.
Yeah, no, we gotta give Oscar Isaac all of those first. Then you know, we can talk about this. But no, we're not doing that. No.
But when I say Homelander in this episode, you can just see, first of all, he's had it up to here with all of the talking points about Stormfront and, you know, having to explain how he couldn't see that she was a Nazi, which of course we know he knew. He just
but it was the same lines over and over
ad infinitum.
Well, I think it was kind of like one of those things where it's like you have the interviews, and you know, sometimes at these press junkets you'll have the main interviewer, but you'll also have people kind of off to the side with microphones recording. And I think it was just one of those things where that particular interview was on every single channel.
It was different interviews.
No, it was the same interview.
No, it wasn't. It was different interviews.
I think it was the same one.
It was different interviews. Because even when he went on the guy's talk show, he said the same thing.
Well, yeah, that one, but you could tell the background was obviously different in that one. But if you look at the other ones, the background is the same. He's right there on the press junket answering the same question. But Homelander in this, especially in the beginning, you know, they're watching the movie, and he's sitting off to himself while everybody else is sitting over to the side. And then you have the red carpet stuff, and you could just see on his face, he absolutely just does not want to be there. And he puts on this fake smile, and he has these dead eyes. And I was like, oh yeah, Homelander is about to be a beast this season. He's about to be a beast because you can see it plainly on his face. He does not give a fuck. Like, he's tired of pretending. He's tired of having to toe the line. He's just, you could tell he's had it.
Right.
And I'm just like, oh, this is gonna be so much fun.
But even when they pan to him, I mean, I was starting to get a headache from the white noise and like the high pitched whine every time like he started zoning out. I was just like, oh God, no, can we get another sound? But it's like you can just see like he was zoning out, and you all hear was like beep, and like him just being gone. Even like when they were watching at the premiere when he was watching the movie, it's just like like he was just gone. Like his jaw he just had like that his steel jaw like poked out, and he was just like he wasn't there. He was just no.
He's over it. He's over all of this.
Right.
He's over all of it. And can I just say the amount of snark that we got in this episode, especially in those first few minutes, you've got the press not giving a fuck about Hughie being on the red carpet with Starlight. You know, she's sitting there trying to take pictures with him. They're like, singles, get the fuck out the picture, get out the picture. And then he has to sit there and he's talking to Homelander. Homelander's throwing snark his way, and then he has to deal with A-Train, and A-Train is throwing snark his way. I was just like, okay, so we're just starting out with all of the people just basically showing who they don't care about in the first 5 minutes. Okay, so we see right now Hughie is the person that's just kind of like, yeah, you know what, we don't like you, which kind of makes me scared for Hughie. But I don't know, Hughie survived a lot. So
did he make it through this episode without getting covered in blood and guts?
Nope, he sure didn't. Nope. Caught him right at the end. Sorry. He was right there too. He was so close. So close. It was like right there. And he just could not avoid it. Like, oh. I can't wait to talk about. We got to talk about that scene too, because I'm just like,
we have to talk about a lot of scenes in this episode.
Oh my God!
So before we get to the other big scene, Ashley and the director in the bathroom. First of all, I don't understand why people want to go to the bathroom to have sex. It's just ew.
I mean, look, I think the great philosopher Spike Lee said it best when he said, and I'm quoting, "She's gotta have it." So, I mean,
you gotta get in where you can fit in,
and apparently that stall was exactly where they could fit in. And fun fact, I didn't know that pulling hair out of the socket was a new thing. I mean, pulling hair, yeah, but like actually pulling it out, like.
Well, she started this last season with, you know, as she kept getting stressed by Homelander and everything that was going on. She has this, and I cannot remember because there is.
Yeah, I see the word, but I don't want to say it because I'm going to say it wrong.
But yeah, so she has this condition where she like pulls out her hair, and I don't know. I guess it's a
trichotillomania. Trichotillomania.
Okay.
Gesundheit.
Don't
not in that context. You're not ready for that yet.
But yeah, she's just there in the bathroom, and Hughie comes in, and this was the crazy thing. So the director is putting the hair in the trash can, and then immediately goes to shake Hughie's hand, and Hughie is looking like, I don't even know what else is on there.
It was not pretty. Let's just put it that way.
I was just like, oh yeah, he was sitting there washing his hands. I don't blame him. And then of course, here comes Butcher. And it's so weird because apparently, you know, we ended last season with Hughie working or going to work for the, the Bureau of Superhuman Affairs.
Mm-hmm.
And it appears that Butcher is working for him. And I was like, this is such a weird dynamic because usually it's Butcher giving the orders and Hughie saying, no, we're not going to do this, or you're crazy, or you don't care about us, or you're just whatever. And now it's the other way around, and it's so weird. But we find out that it's been a year since the events of the last episode, or the finale of season 2. So it's been a year now. So I guess things are a little bit different. Butcher is still hunting superheroes. He's just doing it in a he's doing it legally. And he's not killing anyone, and he's not doing all of this other stuff, which we find out throughout the episode. But let's go to the first superhero that we see him capture in this new capacity, and it's the super. And I don't even know if we're not gonna call him a superhero. Soup. Termite.
Oh,
Look,
my God.
The name alone is just perfect. That's all I'm saying.
So Kimiko and Frenchie, yay, power couple. Anyway, Kimiko and Frenchie are going undercover to try to bring in this termite dude. And they go to a party, you know, it's a usual house party. There's like cocaine, there's dancing, there's drinking. And our introduction to termite is that he is being cheered on by people looking at him dry humping a doll in a dollhouse. And I was sitting there so confused at first. I was like, what the hell am I watching? Because the name termite didn't even, like, I wasn't thinking about what the name meant, because of course you think it's termite. I'm like, what, is he eating wood or something? Like, but of course they can't call him Ant-Man or anything like that. So they got to go with termite.
Right.
But this is our introduction to this character. And I'm just like, oh, this is so weird. This is really weird. And, you know, at that point, I'm starting to think, okay, I see something bad happening with this. I wasn't expecting what we got. But before we get to that part, Kimiko and Frenchie, they kind of they split ways so that they can try to find this termite person. And Kimiko goes to a room where lady is playing piano, and she starts singing. And I was looking like,
oh my God.
wait. I was like, did they figure out how to heal her voice? And then we figure out that it's kind of like her daydreaming. I was like, that made me so sad for a minute. I was like,
shout out to Karen Fukuhara for having a pretty damn good singing voice too.
Yeah, but I want to hear more.
I'm sure this is probably gonna be a running thing where she kind of like imagines herself talking or doing all this other stuff. Because remember, in the previews, there's the scene of her and Frenchie dancing, doing the ballroom dancing thing. So I'm sure there's going to be a whole lot of things. I'm waiting. They're teasing like there's going to be a musical episode of The Boys, which I'm here for 100%.
I'm not.
Like,
I hate music. I don't care.
I don't care.
I despise.
Hate on, hater. I'm with her. I'm here for it. Let's go. I want to do it. All right.
I think you're going to be disappointed at Anthony, because there seems to be a lot of singing in this season. Just from what we've seen in the other episodes, there seems to be a lot of singing.
There's a difference between a song here and there and having an entire episode dedicated as a musical.
I don't think they're going to do like an entire episode. They'll probably have it'll probably be like an extended scene, but I don't think they're going to do a whole episode. But then again, this is
okay. I want to see an episode.
I can do this all day. I just don't want to.
I mean, because I kind of miss Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist. That was one of my favorite shows, and it's like I can deal with a whole episode as a musical because I like musicals. I remember this in Conjuration, Anthony, when we were sitting there singing shit from Encanto. Mm-hmm. We're singing "We Don't Talk About Bruno." I'm like, wait, I thought you didn't like singing and like all this shit. I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna circle back around.
A movie that has like intermittent singing is different. But like, yeah, okay. Anyway,
TV series episode as Buffy did it was terrible. Lucifer did it. It was terrible.
I don't know. Lucifer was pretty good.
All I'm saying is that Legacies, Vampire Diaries, their musical episode was everything. Amazing.
It
It was
epic.
everything.
It was
Supernatural
epic.
did a musical episode.
They did. That was epic too. That was amazing. How can you not like that episode?
No.
Okay, we're just gonna ignore Anthony right now. We're gonna ignore. I mean, you're talking about the Buffy episode, Once More with Feeling. They have a whole panel dedicated to that at Dragon Con. They do it every
that is unfortunate
year.
Good or bad, it is iconic. It's iconic. Look, whether you liked it or not, it was iconic. That's all I'm saying. The only thing greater in the Buffyverse, Angelverse, is the Angel puppet episode. That's all I'm saying.
Oh my God, I forgot all about that.
No.
I forgot all about that.
The X-Files episode that was a cartoon. That was.
Oh my God. Okay, no, let's not go down this rabbit hole. No.
They were going to go to the Community episode where they did the claymation joint, which was pretty cool.
None of that beats Supernatural Scooby-Doo or Scooby-Natural.
Nothing.
I can't argue with that.
Was GOAT. That was.
Can't argue with that.
That was like I think I've watched that episode like 20 times. Literally, it's like the best thing ever.
Okay, let's get back to the boys because we're talking about what happens. So Termite gets done with his little dollhouse demonstration, and you know he enlarges back to his regular.
Enlarges.
Yeah, enlarges, engorges himself. Yes.
To his regular person size. He goes off with his boyfriend into like a room where they're making out and they're doing coke. And then, the boyfriend says, I want you inside me. And after I saw what happens next, I was like, I will never, ever hear those words in any context the same way again. So the boyfriend.
I thought it was going to be like a Richard Gere episode,
That's what I thought too. I thought they were going to have like a funnel and all that, and
Right, but I actually
you never saw a 54-year-old man leave the room as fast as Mark did when he said those words. It's like, okay, I'm out. I'm not watching it.
And for me, I was like, wait, is that what I think it is?
Well,
oh God, no.
Here's the thing, because when he says that and he pulls his pants down, of course they show an ass shot. So I'm thinking, oh, are we about to get like some butt sex on the show? Like, that's what I'm thinking. But of course, you're thinking about the person Termite and the fact that he can enlarge and shrink. I'm thinking the old Thanos Ant-Man thing is about to happen. I'm like, oh, okay, he's about to shrink and get in his ass. Okay. We were warned we were going to get some freaky shit on the boys this season. No, Termite gets up on the table and he shrinks down, and then the camera pans to the opening or to the head of boyfriend Peter's penis. And I was like, Peter. I was like,
and Termite is rubbing his hands in anticipation. That's what got me the most.
And he just walked through cocaine. So he's tracking cocaine into his Peter. So like he's actually giving him like a blow. Wait,
what?
I'm sorry.
A different take on a blowjob. Okay.
No. Once I got over the initial shock, when he was walking through and touching the wall.
Oh my God, no. So he enters the urethra and you see the inside of the penis and he just starts touching the walls and the guy is like, and I was like,
no.
Wait. I thought that was the other part. I didn't realize that it was the okay, all right.
He entered in the tip of the penis.
I see it now. I thought it was his ass. I'm sorry. Okay.
No. That's what my daughter thought too.
He actually said it. He said it.
Right.
He said, I'm gonna rock your fucking dick, babe.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he went there.
And literally. They literally when you look at the visual of this little man and this penis.
Yeah, that's why I said I was looking like, is that what I think it is? It's like, oh my God, no.
Like, did they make like
they
a
made an
penis head?
11-foot fake penis.
Oh God.
Yes, they actually made an 11-foot fake penis. The guy who played Termite, he posted pictures of it on his Instagram with him and his stunt double covered in white powder, like touching the tip of it. Yeah.
And I thought nothing would be worse than penis sausage.
Love sausage.
Love sausage. I never thought I'd see anything.
Oh my God.
Worse. This was
Oh my God.
He had a nice little obsession with this. I'm like, okay.
This is not even the bad part. So Termite is in there, and he's, like I said, he's on the inside of boyfriend's penis, and he's touching the walls and like arousing him from the inside. And dude is like, go to the prostate, go to the prostate.
Oh God.
And as he's walking towards the back of the penis, he kind of catches himself from sneezing, which happened outside. You know, when he was out, they were sniffing the cocaine. He sneezes, but he was big, so we didn't think nothing of it. But immediately when he went, I said, oh no. And before I can even get the no out of my mouth, he sneezes, and the sneeze makes him go back to full size while he is in his boyfriend's penis. So literally he splits homeboy.
He blew him up.
I was gonna say that. Let's try to find a way.
Oh my God. When I tell you, looking at this, because of course boyfriend automatically dies, he falls back on the bed and all of his insides. Now I watched The Walking Dead, okay? I watched The Walking Dead. I'm used to seeing guts come out of a body. This shit was so disgusting. And you just see all of it just kind of just leaking out. And Termite is looking at this, and he just starts hollering because of, again, this is his boyfriend. He just tore him apart.
Of course, you just did drugs through your nose and you just sneezed. So it's like, were you not expecting to sneeze? I was like, also, I want to know, once he gets to his prostate and the liver ejaculates, was he planning on surfing out, or like how was he was he planning on being shot out up against the wall over there?
The fact that it's obvious that they've done it before, which is just...
Oh yeah, because he knew what to expect. Yeah, because I guess he's gonna come out there looking like Homelander, going like Superman.
I'm doing like this. The scene is playing in the background, so I'm just like, And of course, this is the moment that Frenchie comes in to try to take down Termite, and Butcher is looking at it on a surveillance camera, and Frenchie is looking like, yeah, no, we're good. Yeah, I'm not fucking. We're good. And he's trying to leave because Termite is telling him to get out. And then he's like, hold up, no, you can't leave. And he immediately shrinks. And I was like, oh, what is about to happen? And this Termite dude, he's still really strong. So it is kind of similar to Ant-Man. You know, he's this big, but he's picking up Frenchie. He's throwing him up against the wall. And then as Frenchie is on the ground, he starts running up Frenchie's leg.
Oh,
and I was like, you better not touch my Frenchie. Well,
he's trying to get into my ass.
And of course, Kimiko comes in at that point, and she has to try and like get his pants off, and she's having to feel around Frenchie, trying to find this little guy. And Frenchie is panicking, and I'm sitting there like this, like, oh my God, is Frenchie about to die? Like, I'm literally watching the TV like
He almost made it too, because she got him out of the back of his pants.
Oh my God.
Yeah, she actually went. I was surprised we didn't hear like a little pop, like,
yeah, no, but she grabs him, and of course Termite is like in her hands. He bites her hand, and she drops him, and then he picks her up and he throws her, and then
Frenchie
is on the ground. Like, throws her against the wall. She lands like right near all the blood and guts. Frenchie is still on the floor, because he's been, termites been whooping their ass. I mean, he's little, but he packs a punch. And he's getting ready to run into Frenchie's mouth. And Butcher comes in holding a bag of cocaine and snatches Termite up in the bag and starts shaking it.
Oh God, that was priceless. Well, first I didn't realize that the bag had coke in it, right? I was like, okay, he's got a baggie. And then I say like, oh, he's gonna die.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard of shake and bake, but would that be shake and wake? This is cocaine.
We're not even 15 minutes into the episode.
Literally,
we're not even 15 minutes.
And then Butcher's face when he's like, "Go on, Mike, have a bump." Like that little face. I'm like, "Oh, Butcher's having too much fun with this shit. Like he's having way too much fun." And then you see Termite ODing, like sitting there, like laying there in a little pile of cocaine, ODing. He's like, "Roll him on his side, trying to OD."
Well, he was getting ready to smash him at first, and Termite saying, "Now." But Butcher's getting ready to smash him, and then he decides not to. And he was like, bag him up. And French is like, "You're not going to kill him?" And he was like, "Nope, governor's orders." He was like, and turn him on his side. He's about to OD. So, and then we get the boys, the title card. I was like, y'all, we haven't not even 15 minutes. And we already have had 15 minutes full of fuckery. Like, what else can you do in this episode?
Great fuckery. For real fuckery. Like, damn, son.
And that's just
literally, like you said, literally not even 15 minutes into the fucking episode. It's like we're barely a third of the way through. And we already had to deal with that. Like, damn.
I was like, I mean, literally, I went on social media and I tweeted. I was like, "Oh, so this is what we're doing. This is how we're starting off." Okay. Y'all were like, "Oh, yeah, you guys missed us? Yeah, let us show us what we've been cooking while you've been gone."
See, the one thing that, I mean, I like the boys and all, but I swear they take the blood and gore to a whole new level.
But they warn us that they're going to do this.
If someone gets shot with a gun, they literally explode. People jump off buildings, they hit the ground, they explode. Mm-hmm. People get hit by cars, they explode. Like
people get looked at by supers, their heads explode. I mean, it's like shit explodes everywhere.
Everywhere.
But it's like, I mean, it's just like the great philosopher Super Chicken said, we knew the job was dangerous when we took it by tuning in. So it's like this and Invincible. It's like we know the deal. We know what's gonna happen.
You know what? Invincible, yes, it's violent, but it's also a cartoon, so I can kind of, I can work around that. But this, like, looking at a person and their guts are just kind of just spilling over the edge of the bed, just like a waterfall. It was just, it was a bit much. And I was like, oh, if this is what they're starting the season on, what are they going to do to us for the rest of the season? Like, okay, we already know Herogasm is coming. I'm almost like,
I don't know what to expect.
What they've said in the interviews. Like Jensen Ackles said, he has already told his mom she absolutely cannot watch that episode. He won't even say if Soldier Boy is in that episode, but he's like, yeah, no. He said he came to work on set that day and, was just passing by some of the crew and saw one of the camera operators. He was like, "So how's it going in there?" He said the camera operator was like, I don't even know what I just filmed. Like, so if this is what we got in the first 15 minutes, there are 8 episodes of The Boys? Is it 8 or 10? I can't remember. But still, this is episode 1, first 15 minutes. I have a feeling we're going to be doing a lot of mental cleansing this season, and we're going to be doing a lot of watching like this, because I couldn't look at that scene just full out. I was like, that looks a little too real. When you're watching The Walking Dead, most of the things that you see guts coming out of are dead people, so it doesn't affect you quite the same. But this is a person who literally was just enjoying getting his rocks off, and yeah. I mean, rocks. I mean, if that's how you gotta go. I mean, hopefully he didn't feel anything, any pain. But oh my
I
God.
mean, he probably, yeah, I can't even imagine. There are 10 episodes, by the way.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I'm sorry, wait, did I get that right? Yeah, I think I saw 10.
Okay.
No, 8.
But whoo, that's how we start out. I'm like,
There's 8 episodes. Sorry, there's 8.
it is 8.
It's 8.
Okay.
Well, that's what I'm looking at now.
All right. Okay, so I think we've talked enough about Termite and the I guess that's the emotional damage for him. I'm sure
Not more
that's
than
not,
emotional.
I'm sure that's not quite the way you wanted to make your boyfriend go. I'm like, that was horrible. Anyway. Okay. Let's see, where do we want to go next? I guess we'll go to Hughie because he seemingly has a bigger part to play than just being, you know, a happenstance member of the boys. He's actually like Victoria Newman's like right hand in the Bureau of Superhuman Affairs. And it's so funny because when he's walking in the office, like people treat him with a little bit of they almost treat him like a celebrity. You know, he's coming through and
He was the
everybody's
man
like,
in that
he's
office.
he's dating Starlight.
Right.
He's
And
like
he
the
was
most
also
popular
instrumental in bringing down Stormfront.
Yeah.
Right.
So they're looking at him like he's, you know, a rock
He's
star.
he's the shit.
Right.
He's the guy that took down Stormfront. And he's dating Starlight.
Yeah, he's coming in wearing fly ass suits and shit, like looking. I was like, damn, son. All right.
He's looking good. You know, him and Starlight, they seem to be back on track and, you know, doing well and having fun with the Aquafresh and all this other stuff.
Hey. I mean, first was Fanta, now it's Aquafresh. I mean, they keep reaching back and getting brands
Not
and
Fanta,
trying to refresh
Fresca.
Fresca. I'm sorry, Fresca. Yeah, they're reaching back and trying to repurpose old brands, but you know, ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, but you know, so like I said, Hughie is the right hand person, and he's the one that's kind of he's the one that's kind of in charge of Butcher and the boys now. Like they work for him, which is really weird. And I'm surprised that Billy has not I don't know, I'm just kind of surprised that he's going along with it. But
if I'm not mistaken, the boys had worked for the CIA before in a similar role.
They worked for what's her name before? Yeah,
Mallory.
Yeah, they did. But I don't know. I think with everything that happened in the last season, that's why I would kind of be, you know, surprised that Butcher is kind of doing things the legal way. But then we see later on in the episode that he's still kind of checking in on Ryan, and Ryan seems to have developed a bit of a, you know, connection with him. So I think he's doing it just because, okay, you know what? I promise.
That's the only reason he's doing it.
Yeah.
The only reason he's doing this for Ryan.
Yeah.
Because Ryan's the one last link that he has to his wife, and he's going to hold on to that as long as he can. So yeah, that's basically the only thing that's keeping him in check is seeing Ryan, making sure Ryan's okay, making sure Homelander doesn't get his fucking hands on Ryan. That's basically the whole thing. Why he's why he's going along why he's playing along with everybody is so he can prevent Butcher from getting Ryan and corrupting him and turning him into another Homelander. And like I said, that's the last little bit of the last line that he has to his wife. So it's like, I mean, he doesn't want to let that go at all.
Right. But you know,
well, I don't think Homelander wants to corrupt him. Homelander actually says he doesn't want him to be like him. Remember, he
might not want him. He might not want him to, but how is he gonna? I mean, he's gonna try to raise. He's gonna raise him. What role model is he gonna use to raise him besides himself? He's not going to use Edgar. He's not going to use Butcher. Who's he going to use?
Yeah, I mean, think about it. To try to bring his powers out, he threw his son off the roof.
I didn't say the psychopath had an actual book on how to raise kids. I'm just saying he actually said that Ryan didn't have a connection to anyone, which is why he ended up the way he is, and he wanted to give Ryan something. So he wanted to kind of be there for Ryan. Yeah. I'm not saying it was going to be right or, normal, but at least he was trying. Yeah, we had this conversation before that Homelander, he's becoming unhinged, but his heart sometimes is in the right place.
Do I need to remind you about this? What was it? What was the panel that I did at DragonCon? Was it Father Knows Best or something like that? Where we talked about superheroes and fathers, and like there was actually someone defending Homelander.
That was me, wasn't it?
I think it was. I think there was somebody else on the panel.
Someone else, I was backing that person up.
Homelander, no,
we're not doing that.
No, because it's one thing to say, okay, yes, I don't want my son to grow up like I did and all this other stuff, but you're still trying to raise your son to be a psychopath. Like the things that you were doing. I
mean, he can't even take steps to not raise Ryan to be a superhero because he has superpowers. He has to raise him to understand his powers. So who's he going to raise him after? Like I said, he doesn't have any examples to raise, say, okay, you can be like him. No, don't be like him. Can't be like him. Can't be like him. So you got to be like me, kind of. But how you think he's not going to cross the line and do things? Say like, when you're mighty, you can just take things. It's gonna happen.
And it definitely would have happened if he had still been with Stormfront, because I mean they literally took him from Becca. He was like, yeah, okay, you want to raise him this way? No, we're going to raise him to know that he's one of the most powerful people in the world and he doesn't have to do what everybody tells him to do. Dude, you're already off to a bad start. But
at least he'll have a connection to somebody. Homelander has a connection to no one. He doesn't care about anyone or anything.
He had
no,
he had a connection to Madeline Stillwell.
No, that was a fetish. That was in the connection.
I think most of Homelander's connections were fetishes. I mean, let's be realistic. Let's be realistic about this. Like, I mean, yeah, but again, what him being raised without a role model and no connections is the whole reason why he shouldn't be raising another child. That's the whole reason why you shouldn't be raising anybody.
Yeah.
What does he have to draw off of? Is he going to watch TV? Is he going to like start watching the Cosby Show and Family Matters and all this other shit to try to figure out how to be a dad?
No, I think we should have those this panel black again. Shows, and we're talking about Homelander.
I think they should have that panel again at DragonCon. I think this is a good discussion for DragonCon.
That was an interesting panel, but Homelander has a lot going on in this episode, though, because, like I said, he's tired of he's tired of being the news cycle. He's tired of the whole thing with Stormfront. And then we find out Stormfront is not even, well, we knew she wasn't dead, but she's still alive. Like they're keeping her alive, and she's kind of being treated, I guess. I mean, it's not like she can go anywhere, but
it's like I saw her and I was like, I had the slightest bit of opinion. I was like, fuck that bitch, fuck that Nazi bitch. You should have been dead. You should be dead. Fuck you.
Well, I mean,
but it's like, that whole scene was disturbing. He was like telling her, she was like, come here, let me fix it. And he like walked over and lowered the bed. I was like, what the fuck are y'all doing? Like, this is terrible. This is
first of all,
another fetish. Yet another fetish.
That is patient abuse, okay? I don't know what type of patient you qualify her as, but that was abuse right there. I'm sorry, it just was.
She was the one who initiated it.
Yeah, she started it.
It doesn't matter. It's still wrong.
She needed
that.
She needed to be able to still I guess, be the support for him, or, you know, she still wants him to be this perfect specimen so that they can create an army. And he was like, but I don't want to be your type of army. I'm the only army we need. Like, that was his whole thing. He was like, we don't need to make more of me. I'm the only one. I'm unique. I'm the only army we need. I'm stronger than everybody. And of course, this makes her sad. And she can't, like, while she's saying this, while he's giving her this, apparently he loses his erection because she's literally sitting in the hospital bed, half burnt, with her one good hand, jacking him off. And it's just like,
what a good hand. Oh my God. And then she raised her knuckles like, no,
remember her other arm was gone.
No, come back.
Again, I cannot unsee that scene. I'm just saying.
Like, oh my God.
Can you unsee any of the scenes?
No, you can't unsee none of that.
Not really. It was a hell of an episode. That's all I gotta say. Good or bad.
Oh man.
I love the fact that Bobby Singer is running for president.
Yeah, shout to the homie Bobby Singer running for president, baby.
Excuse me, Robert Singer, but still, that's Bobby in my mind.
Go for me, idiots.
But yeah, so he's running for president, and of course, Stan Edgar is still sitting there trying to pull the strings. I'm just like, so what? Like, the last season when we saw, I think he was Congressman Singer then, he was pretty much opposed to what Stan was trying to do with the supes as far as putting them in the military. And now it looks like he's kind of maybe not like 100% on board, but Stan Edgar is one of his biggest donors.
Yeah, that fat super PAC. That's what's changing his mind. You know, he was like, yeah, how's the election going? He's like, okay, thank you for the donation. And Edgar was like, yeah, that's what I thought. Get the vote. Yeah, I mean, Edgar knows how that whole little private conversation that they had was kind of all of a sudden I started thinking about Gus Fring, and this started becoming Breaking Bad again. I was like, what the fuck? Because it's like, you know, just wanting to be in charge, but still trying to not get in trouble or trying to get out and things like that. I was just like, fuck, dude. But yeah, and he's just that's gonna be interesting to see how that pans out.
Because, you know, he's gonna get into the White House. He's gonna be president, and then he's gonna find out who's really running the company. And it's not, or the country, and it's not going to be him. And it's just, I tell you, the way that Vought is kind of have their hands in everything. And then, you know, you have Victoria Newman, who, of course, we saw last season that she was the head popper. Hughie doesn't find this out until towards the end of this episode, and the way that he finds out is so horrifying. Like you said, he ends up covered in blood and guts again, as is his, you know, his way. But there's this guy who keeps showing up at like different events that Victoria is at, and he keeps calling after her like, hey, Nadia, and she doesn't acknowledge him. So it's easy to think that, okay, maybe he's talking about somebody else, or he has her mistaken for somebody, which is what Hughie assumes. And he's like, no, that's Nadia. She's my best friend. We're best friends. And Hughie's like, yeah, okay, well, I'll tell her you stop by. And security kind of escorts him out the building, but he was like, tell her it's Tony, she'll know. And I was like, okay, this is somebody who knows that she's a supe. But of course, Hughie doesn't know this information. He just thinks, okay, this is an unhinged guy. I'm just not going to mention it because, you know, maybe he's thinking, I don't want to freak her out or something like that. But, you know, towards the end of the episode, this Tony finds Nadia, or she finds him, and she's like, look, hey, Tony, you can't just be bothering me. You know, nobody knows that I'm Nadia. And he's like, all he just wants is for her to acknowledge him. And let me tell you, I'm sitting here watching this scene. Of course, Hughie is following her to try to figure out what's going on. And I was like, Hughie, don't do this. Don't do this. Don't don't do this. This is not a good thing. This is not a good thing. You don't. So he follows her, and she and Tony, they meet in this alleyway, and I think he threatens her, like maybe threatens exposing her or something, or he's just to the point where he's like, no, you can't keep ignoring me, this, that, and the other. She's like, look, I'm not that person anymore. You can't tell anybody who I am. You can't tell anybody I have powers or whatever. And they get into this like tussle. And she doesn't kill him as cleanly as she did the other people last season. Like,
well, he covered up her eyes.
Oh yeah, because I guess that's okay. And this is the question I had about that. I'm glad you brought that up. So apparently when she pops people's heads, her eyes does this thing, you know, she rolls her eyes in the back of her head, her eyes turn cloudy, and that activates this power. Did we see her do any of that?
Yes.
During the hearings?
Yeah. No, not during the hearings. But they I don't think the camera was ever on her when it was happening.
She was being pushed out of the room, escorted out of the room, and I think
all she had to do was
her head was not like, the camera was not on her face, or she
was
was
on her
doing like
face,
this, trying to cover herself from all the exploding guts that was flying around the room. But
it doesn't take her much to just look. All she had to do was look at people.
Yeah.
And a few quick glances and she's good.
Yeah.
But she needs line of sight. We don't see her eyes. We don't actually see her eyes do it until the end of that episode when she does the church guy.
The cult leader.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So she's looking at him through the window.
Right. While she's talking to him. But with Tony, what she does is she tries to activate her powers. And I don't think she wants to do this, but again, this is a man who is threatening everything that she has built. You know, I'm assuming that her powers are very secret, except to whoever the mystery person was that she called on the phone at the end saying she needed to clean up. But when she uses her powers against him, like you said, Tony tries to cover her eyes, and I think she kind of breaks free, and his body just starts exploding in different parts. But I think she got a body shot, she got a second body shot, and then the third one was like in his facial area, but it wasn't a clean one. So like his jaw is, you know, popped off of his face, and his teeth are coming out, and it's just, he looks so disfigured, and you know he's in pain, and she's just looking at him like, you should have just left well enough alone. And then she pops his whole body all over the alley. And of course, Hughie is hiding behind a dumpster. So he gets blood and guts rained on him once again. Of course, he can't say anything, because if she finds him sitting there, he's probably going to go the same way. But, you know, she just kind of looks.
Rain down on Hughie.
I hate you.
The blood.
I hate you. I hate you.
I'm sorry, it just popped in my head. But I mean, it's like, you just see it, and it's like, because when she hugged him, was hugging Tony, and he was like, and she was like, it's going to be okay. She actually started to try to do it without line of sight before then, because his nose started bleeding. Then you realize what she was doing, and he showed that he was a super and pushed her away. And that whole fight scene, then she blew up his hands. Then it's like, at that point he was done. Even with him trying to use his one good hand to get her not to look at him.
What is it with the one good hand in this episode with people?
This was a nub-filled episode. Like, it's just nubby all over the place. But it's like, then she hits him like in the eye and then in the mouth, and like, ugh. And it's like, and apparently she knows who to call. I mean, and so she calls him and walks away, covered in blood, by the way.
Right. And it's just it's just so interesting that no one comes across that alleyway and sees all of this, which even if they had come down the alleyway, like, she literally obliterated his body. Who's gonna look at that and think, oh, somebody just exploded? Somebody's gonna look at that alleyway and they're gonna be like, what the fuck just happened? Because how else, without knowing what happened, how else would you explain all of that?
You can't.
You can't.
There's no explanation. I mean, it's like, ugh, like she literally turned him into a crime scene with no body. Like, ugh.
But it's fortunate that no one did walk down the alley, because she would have just started popping people if they walked down the alley.
Pop, pop, pop.
Right.
And poor Hughie, Hughie thought he was going to work for her, and he was going to be fighting the supes the right way.
Doing it the right way.
And to find out that the person that you have been the right hand man of for the last year is the head popper. Because he has to sit there and he's thinking now like, oh shit, wait, this is what happened at the congressional hearings. Oh wait, it was her, because she was there. So yeah, poor Hughie. He's gonna have to go crawling back to Butcher now. But
it's good that she has her weakness. Her weakness is they have to be in line of sight. So it's good to know.
Yeah. But I wonder, is it like, does she have to have eye contact, or does she just need to be near them? Because
I think she just needs to see the body part or the person.
Let me tell you, I would not want to get on her bad side
at all.
Huh. Nah. Yeah. So we'll come back to Hughie. But let's see, where do we want to go? Oh, let's talk about Mother's Milk.
Oh my God, this is so sad. This is the worst. I mean, he was sitting there. Not only does his daughter having a soup themed party, but he's having a soup themed party in his wife's house with her new man.
Yep. Apparently Monique and them couldn't make it work.
He looked rough, man. Like he looked scraggly, and just like he was barely holding it together.
I'm looking at him in the background. He's
comparatively speaking to how he looked at, his beard was always trimmed when he was working with Butcher and them.
Okay, wait a minute. First of all, ain't nothing wrong with his beard. He's like clean cut. I mean, he's neat. He's got a little facial hair, but
speaking as a man who can't grow a beard and is insanely jealous, I don't care about none of that shit. That's just.
But I'm just saying, he doesn't look bad in that sense. Like he's dressed nicely. He's well, he's well groomed. It's just that you can see on his face that he is not happy. Okay. Like they're taking the family pictures, for the party, and then Monique is like, "Hey, what's his name? Todd? Hey, Todd. Oh, Todd. Hey, Todd, come here." And then this dude walks up and starts posing, and he kisses her on the cheek. And I'm just like, and then, Mother's Milk is like, "Hey, I'm gonna let y'all take this picture over here. Like, I don't want to be in a picture with."
Yeah, not only did he lose her, he lost her to a guy named Todd.
Let me finish. She left Luke Cage for Rick Moranis.
I see what you did there.
Yes, exactly.
That was brilliant. That was freaking brilliant. Ugh.
Yeah.
I think maybe you're right, because that's maybe how scrunched up his face. His face is all scrunched up, so that really looks like makes his beard look really scraggly.
Yeah, he's sad. He wants his wife back and his family back, and apparently, him working with Butcher and him doing everything that he was doing took its toll on his marriage, which we knew from season 2. I mean, that was his whole thing. He was trying to get back to his girls. And like we said, this is a year later. So apparently he has been out, he has been out of the game. I mean, Mallory said as much to Butcher. He's been out, and he's been working on, quote unquote, fixing himself, or, just trying to get back to some sense of normalcy. But of course, he ended up losing his wife, and now he's got to go through this, and he's got to attend a superhero themed birthday party with Todd dressing as Homelander. I was like, I think the best part of that party was the fact that he gave her a Flavor Flav clock. you know, because he's like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna give her the Flavor Flav clock. You know, Mother's Milk is all about the old school hip hop. You know, we saw it all last season. Well, actually, first 2 seasons, like every shirt that he wore was some type of hip hop group.
Yeah,
so
right.
I'm assuming he instilled that love with his daughter too, because when you see when she gets the clock, she's like so tickled, she's so excited, but she's putting on the Flavor Flav clock with a Stargirl costume, and then like I said, Mama's new boyfriend is dressed as Homelander, and you've got the other kids and the other adults dressed as the other supes. All of these are supes that Marvin has not had a good experience with. So, you know, he had to be sitting there like, okay, how long do I have to endure this? Because, you know, that couldn't have been comfortable for him. But
yeah, he was over there. His OCD was kicking in where he was arranging the knives and forks and plates and like setting them up perfectly. I was like, oh boy. I felt so bad for him. I was like, but I mean, he's a great, that shows how great of a father he is. It's like he tried his best to kind of put on a brave face and stay there for his kids and not try to start any bullshit. And he was like, you know, even when Todd came out there looking like Homelander, he was like, oh God, happy birthday. I want to crush your head. I really want to beat you till you're dead.
I was like, okay, and I understand, you know, and Monique knows that was triggering for him because she apologizes for it. She was like, I'm so sorry about the superhero thing, but she insisted. He's like, no, it's her party. Let her do it. But still, you could have at least told your boyfriend, no, let's not do the Homelander. No, I understand superhero party. That's what she wants, but we can just tell her, no, the Homelander costume was sold out or something. He could have come as anybody else. That was just, no.
That's a bit much.
But that made me sad. But that's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay, Marvin. And
then God. And then we see him actually looking up Soldier Boy's group like secretly and still doing research on him. And I'm like, oh God, where's this gonna fucking head? Like this is like, okay, one of my favorite shows is Castle. I love that show. And when the main character, Detective Beckett, her mother gets killed in the alley, like under suspicious circumstances. And the whole reason she became a cop was to try to figure out who killed her. So they kept telling her to let it go. She let it go. But then there's this one scene at the end of one of the episodes where she has a window in her apartment where she did just like Mother's Milk did, just like taped pictures and everything on huge windows of the whole murder and like everybody, suspects and stuff like that. And it's like that sort of obsession, it's like that never ends well. Like something like, you know, something's gonna happen.
Right.
Because you're too close to it. It's like who did Soldier Boy kill? Soldier Boy killed his
father.
He killed his dad. Yeah. So it's like he's way too close to that. Like that's just not gonna end well at all.
Father, brother, and sister, maybe?
But mother? You know, that's the thing I was trying to figure out, because when we got Marvin's backstory last year, wasn't it that his father supposedly, like had a heart attack or something in the house, but he knew that there was something suspicious about it? But did they ever say last season that it was Soldier Boy?
No, and I remember that. Yeah, I remember that because because wasn't his father like one of those people who was like either a journalist or something, but he was following a story.
Like a lawyer.
I remember lawyer. That's right.
Like a lawyer. Yeah.
Yeah. But they never said Soldier Boy.
So if you freeze frame one of the articles, the title says, not that I freeze frame anymore or anything.
even though you just did it, sure.
Just for the purposes of clarification. It says Soldier Boy cleared of wrongdoings and death of Queen's family. If you look really, really closely, you can kind of see that it tells you.
Squeeze it
Yeah,
open.
Soldier Boy was implicated. He was chasing somebody. These guys in a car. They jumped out. One of them got back in the car, restarted the crashed car. He deflected the car into the car of a family, and it was Walter Milk, Lucy Milk, and Lewis Milk, Walter Milk, and Lucy Milk, and they were all killed.
Oh, okay, yeah,
And
okay, yeah, I see it.
yeah,
There's
Lewis Milk
Stoker
57, Walter Milk 35,
and
and
Lucy
Lucy
Milk
Milk
32.
32.
Can we get a screenshot of Anthony looking at that
No,
freeze frame like
no. There's no.
Okay, but I don't know why I thought that last season they said something about. Oh, you know what? It's probably because I remember him saying something about he used to come downstairs and hear his dad at the typewriter, and then one morning he didn't hear it. But I thought I remembered him saying something about his dad died.
So maybe that was not his dad. Maybe these were other people, his family.
Yeah.
And maybe his
Because if
dad
you
was,
think about
because I
it,
think his dad was upset. I think. I don't know, but he's
maybe that was his grandfather or something.
his
Because if you
grandfather.
think about it, Soldier Boy was from the World War II era,
Yeah.
and he's been missing since then, supposedly. So okay, that would make more sense. Because I was like,
And his father was obsessed with with supes about this issue.
So that would make a lot more sense. Okay, I'm glad we talked that out because that was confusing me so much. I was like, but that's not how his dad died. But yeah, his dad was investigating Vought and asking some hard questions. And I think that was when I forgot what Stormfront's old name was, but I think
Liberty.
Yeah.
But didn't she have something to do with? She had something to do with the
because
accident too,
he was telling that whole story
accident.
because he went to his daughter's house of somebody who Stormfront killed in front of her. So they were trying to figure out who Stormfront was from the past. Yeah,
right. Okay.
And I think the whole thing was there was a cover up, and I think this article. I don't think this article is true. I think there's a cover up that Soldier Boy actually did something wrong and caused him to die.
Okay.
Which is where I think he was trying to talk to how they talked to that woman, because it was the same thing. It was a cover up because she actually saw it happen.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. That makes sense. But yeah. And so we see a couple of things on his wall. You see something about the Crimson Countess, which is Laurie Holden from I know her from The Walking Dead. She was Andrea. So that's going to be interesting. She was also part of Payback. And then you also see the article about Robin, Hughie's ex-girlfriend or Hughie's girlfriend that was killed. And so it looks like
and it says high speed pursuit. A-Train wasn't chasing nobody. He was making a delivery.
Yeah, he was making a run.
Right. So so it looks like he's just keeping up with the whole suit thing, even though he's not part of Butcher's team anymore, but he is still tracking these deaths by superhuman involved deaths. And then of course you see the article about it says our fallen soldier boy remembered for his dedication. So it's just the look on his face when he's looking at that. I was like, oh, he about to be mad. But then you also see, I'm looking at the wall now. So you have woman paralyzed in 10 Night hostage rescue. So I'm guessing 10 Night is another superhero. And then woman loses arm to Jack Rabbit as Jack Rabbit pursues homicide suspects on freeway. So you
Crimson Countess spotted fleeing brutal crime.
Right. Payback's popularity source. So all of these articles, and he's got even crime scene photos. And then you see up at the top where he's got different looks like crime dossiers and a missing poster for someone. And it's just like, oh, okay. And of course, everything is really neat and really laid out. But it's like, oh, okay. So you're really not letting this go, like you told Monique. But
You can't help it though.
yeah, I mean, when you're that close to something, it's
Yeah,
gonna be it's gonna be a bit of an obsession.
it's
Well,
So
such a
his
big part of his life.
OCD is not gonna let it go.
no. And
Yeah, that was such a big part of his life. There's no chance that until it's resolved completely, he can't.
mhm,
He's not going to be able to let it go at all. It's like partial completion is like, man, I can't. That's good for now, but he has to get this seen through to the very end until
right.
for him to actually be able to be okay with, yeah, okay, I can let this go. Otherwise, it's just going to bug him and pick at him and pick at him.
Yeah. Especially when you know that some of that stuff is not like, the thing about Robin is a lie, because you know exactly what happened with her being dead because of Hughie. So it's kind of like, I guess if you look at it like, okay, so how many other deaths or of these other superhuman accidents were actually things that were committed on purpose? And of course, him knowing about some of the suits, him knowing about how horrible Homelander is, and them. I'm pretty sure Butcher may have said something to him about the wait, I can't remember if Butcher knows about the flight video, but I mean, it's just, there's so many things that Marvin knows about these suits and how crooked they are and how they really aren't heroes. And that even though he is out of that life, he's not going to let that go, because that means
Butcher,
other innocent people are going to suffer. And I
Butcher
just
does know
don't think
about the video.
Okay, yeah. So,
Because he was, remember, he was there when Queen Maeve came, when he was going to take he was going to take little boy, and she was like, nope, you're going to leave him alone or I'm going to release this. So he was there when she played the
right,
video.
right, right.
And also, she Queen Maeve made a visit to him to show him, to give him some of that V24.
Yeah, we were just about to talk about that. So there's a temporary V compound.
That's bad news. No, that's just the worst idea ever.
Yeah, Edgar was pimping
worst
it.
idea.
He was pimping it to future President Bobby Singer,
right,
for use in the military.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, oh,
$2 million
no.
a pop. For about $2 million a pop and 60 mil a month.
Yeah, he's like, no,
that ain't
no.
But see, really, if you think about it, that ain't nothing. You know how much the military spends on fucked up airplanes and tanks now? Like, fuck that shit. They'll stop making a few tanks in order to stockpile that shit. So that ain't shit. They ain't gonna worry about that shit.
But think about all the collateral damage that they would cause.
Think about all the collateral damage now. They don't give a fuck about collateral damage. They're like, okay, I could have 24-hour superheroes. Fuck yeah.
Yeah,
future President Bobby Singer said, no, we are not doing this.
Whatever. Bobby Singer's going to be the first one touting that shit. Watch. He has a super PAC that he's responsible for now. He has gotta do what you got to do.
Stan Edgar has donated very generously to. So
exactly, he has donors to answer to. So
yeah, but what did Stan Edgar say? He basically is like, this is my out. I'm going to be out in 5 years. We're going to be out of this business in 5 years.
So, yeah, because what is it he said? What was it that he said? Was it this episode where he said we're not a superhero company? We're a pharmaceutical company.
All right, hold on.
He said this should be a serious company.
What did you say? We said $60 million, right? Times 12.
No,
that's 700. That's 700. That's
wasn't it 60 million?
It's 60 million a month. Oh, okay. He said to supply 60 million times 12 is 7,200 times 5 is $3.6 billion. Be good. Out. Bye.
Vault will be done. Vault will be done with superheroes.
5 years. If they already have money, imagine them throwing $3.6 billion more dollars on top of that in 5 years. They could be, like, I'm out. Bye.
Yeah,
cash out.
But the thing is, you're you're basing that on whether or not all of those superpowered soldiers are going to stay loyal to you.
Well, as long as it's only
24
hours.
hours. And they still have supes that are like lifelong supes working for them.
I don't know. That whole plan just
they ain't got to worry about 24-hour fucking superheroes if they have superheroes that don't lose their powers. It's like they'll be fighting Homelander. The next thing you know, he loses his power and Homelander cuts his ass in half. End the problem. You don't give a fuck about that shit. 5 years, 3.6 bills, out, done.
Yeah,
you just freak the fuck out that shit.
I don't know.
That's like the man has a retirement plan. He's Lex Luthor in this world. He has a plan. He's ready to execute that shit, and he gone.
Now understand that, but again, you're basing that on the assumption that Homelander can be controlled, and I think we see very much in this episode that's probably not going to be the case because one, you pretty much demote. Well, I won't say demote Homelander, but you make it clear that he is not the head dude in charge right now. You know. And you make it also very clear that you have a lot of animosity towards him. And again, Homelander, if you look at his face, Homelander is getting to the point where he just doesn't give a fuck about none of this. Homelander is not about to be loyal to anybody but him in another episode or so.
The only thing he cares about is his popularity. And like... Right. As long as he cares about what the public thinks about him, he can be controlled a little bit.
Yeah, that's all he cares about.
But once he doesn't care about what the public thinks about him, then that's when he becomes a problem.
Yeah,
I mean he's a problem now, but
yeah, but Edgar can cross that bridge when the river runs dry. He ain't got to worry about that right now. He can go ahead and make his plans, and he can make his plans and then figure that shit out later. He'll be all right. Because he knows that he has Butcher out there thinking about ways to kill him. He has people out there working on shit. So it's like he knows he knows shit'll come up.
Edgar is like your boy in Invincible. He knows Homelander is a problem. Exactly. He knows that one day he's going to be a problem. So he's probably got shit all over the place cooking. And in the works to take care of Homelander.
Yeah, can't wait to see Edgar's tentacle face kaiju for this shit.
And what was the guy in Invincible's name? It wasn't Edgar, was it?
No, you're talking about Cecil.
Cecil, that's right. Cecil.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so
yeah.
Homelander.
I mean, it's like, yeah,
he's not demoted, but Edgar is about to make Starlight co-captain of the 7.
Well, you saw his reaction when the Deep went on the talk show before him.
Right. He was like, how'd you get the slot before me? And the Deep is just so oblivious that he's just keep talking. Yeah, I'm there to promote my book and blah, blah, blah. Talk about my wife, Cassandra. Okay, let me tell you something. That wife, something ain't right about her.
She's a problem.
She is a problem. She is a problem because, after Homelander is talking to the Deep and you can see he's very unpleased and the Deep actually starts sensing it. He starts kind of cowering to him. When Homelander leaves, Cassandra looks at him and she's like, what the hell was that? I was like, oh, she's about to be one of those that's about to be pulling his strings. Like, excuse me, we're not cowering down to anybody. No. Yeah,
but it's like the Deep will do anything to get back into 7. It doesn't matter what. It's like because he's that being in the 7 was everything for him, and him losing it caused him to go to a fucking cult, be passed over by A-Train to get back in the first place. Someone who can't run no more, and then it's like he's willing to do anything to get back in that motherfucker.
Speaking of A-Train, as much as I don't like A-Train. I don't like how he's being dogged right now. I really don't. I don't appreciate it.
I mean, Yeah, I still feel bad. I mean, he kind of deserves it, but still, he. I
I have
mean, that
no
was
sympathy
fucked
for
up.
A Train. None.
He
I
kind of
have no
deserves it.
sympathy for him.
I mean, even though Homelander punked the punk life limb out of his ass. Like he was like, "Fuck you." He was like, "What you say, boy?" And like mushed his face down. He was like, "I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry."
I have
Like,
no
and
sympathy for A Train whatsoever. None. None.
A
I mean,
Train is misguided. He's not as bad as the Deep, but A Train has his agenda is his popularity and selling stuff.
He
And being
killed
he's like
Robin by
it was an
exploding her.
accident. It was an
Okay,
accident.
okay. Pop Claw.
That
He
was not.
purposefully overdosed her with
Yeah.
dozens of needles.
Yeah, he did.
So yeah, no sympathy.
He
None
did.
whatsoever.
yeah,
Misguided my ass. No.
I
No.
just and
But
it's
he's
like,
also a junkie, and drugs make you do crazy things. Where have I heard that before?
I don't know. Padfoot
seems to
doesn't
be a
know
trope.
either.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like, I mean, A Train is just like, I mean, Homelander was just like, yeah, you've been packing on pounds, huh? That you eating all that stuff. He's like, yeah, well, I got to consume 30,000 calories in order to keep my metabolism up. It's like, yeah, that's when you ran. You don't run anywhere except to the buffet. And it's like, like, God
Now
damn.
I will say this: Homelander, like I said, Homelander don't give a shit about nobody this season. Homelander is going in on everybody.
Didn't he William Shatner him and mention his girdle?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yep.
he did.
Sure did.
That was wrong.
I mean,
You said you're just eating your feelings. I mean, he's telling the truth, though.
what a line.
That's what you hate. He's telling the truth. Homelander is telling the truth.
Yeah, but see, the problem with Homelander is that right now he thinks he's top dog, but down the road, there's going to be someone that shows up that's going to mop the floor with him. I'm hoping it's Soldier Boy, and he's going to be so embarrassed and stuff that he'll either try to kill the person, or maybe if we get lucky, he'll basically turn and run in shame and we never see him again. But
I don't see
I
that
think
happening.
I don't see that happen. I think the way this show is written is that there is no one that can stop him. I think they just written the show. I think this is purposeful, that he is unstoppable. The only thing that's going to stop him is himself. Maybe Ryan, if Ryan gets old enough, but we might have an invincible situation. He's going to show Ryan, dude, you think you are, but you are not.
This is true.
So, but I think it's going to be one of those things where he's going to have to self-destruct. That's the only way I see this playing out. That's not a theory.
I don't know, but I don't think it's a good sign that Homelander actually goes to Butcher. Like, yeah, so let's have a talk. And this is right after Maeve, who we find out is Billy's informant about the superheroes, which it threw me off seeing her like dressed down as a regular human, because I looked at her and I was like, this is why people can't tell Clark Kent from Superman, because I really had to look at her to say, wait a minute, is that Maeve?
Yeah, she doesn't look like
She
herself.
doesn't look, she doesn't.
Dressed as a civilian.
So see, like hairband in, Queen Maeve. Hairband out, can't see me.
Hair up, hair down. Hair up, hair
look.
down.
Hey, look, where'd Mike go? Oh, there's Mike. See, you can't even tell.
I don't know.
You can't tell at all. But yeah, I mean, it's like as soon as she gave Butcher those 3 vials of compound V of 24V, I was like, oh fuck no.
I was like, this will result in nothing good.
Nothing good can come of this. Not a damn thing. And I'm like, no, hell no. Of all people to give it to, like,
not
you give
Butcher.
it. Ugh. I was just like, oh, that's fuck. That's not going to end well at all.
at
Like,
all. And then right after that, Homelander comes to his house. I was like,
this was like a weird version of like every time a movie does those things, they're either really like where the antagonist meets the potential hero, like in Heat with Robert De Niro and Al Pacino meeting. Like that's what that kind of reminded me of. It's like, you know, they're both, there's so much tension in the room where they're like, okay, I could kill you right now, I could kill you right now, but I'm not going to. Well, I'm not going to either. And it's like, even like it kind of reminded me of Loki and Tony in the first Avengers too. Like they were just kind of like sitting there, like kind of just blowing steam, like blowing, you know, just puffing their chest out at each other. It's like, you know, but it was a great scene. I loved it. I loved the scene. It was like, I know you want a chance to kill me. Oh, more than anything, I want to kill you. Oh yeah. It's like, you get your chance. And I was like, oh boy. That's so
it's almost like Homelander feels like Billy is beneath him. But also, he can't kill him because that would be the only way he can find Ryan.
Right.
Well, duh. That's of course he feels like he's beneath him. Homelander feels like everybody else is beneath him. There's nobody on his level at all. Period. Point blank in the story. Homelander sees everybody as being beneath him. Like if you haven't like challenged him, and if you can't challenge him and bring him near death, he's not going to respect you. What the fuck? Why should he respect you if he can kill you? Fuck that shit. He don't respect nobody. Someone's going to have to beat him damn near to death, or fuck him damn near to death for him to respect him. That was proved by Stormfront. It's like, you know, either damn near fuck him to death or beat him to death. There's only two ways that he's going to respect him.
You know, I don't know, because the whole thing, like with Butcher, when Maeve brings him the V24, you know, when he takes it home, he's about to actually throw it down the drain. And then that's when Homelander shows up. But the other thing is, when Maeve comes to him, she brings him information about a weapon that can potentially kill Homelander. And this is how the Soldier Boy stuff really gets brought up in this season, because supposedly the story is that Soldier Boy was killed fighting the Russians, and a nuclear reactor fell on top of him. And that's pretty much all anybody knows. I think it was one of those things. I don't think they ever found a body, so it's kind of one of those, well, if you didn't see a body, is he really dead? But of course, nobody's seen him since this accident. So apparently what happened was there was some kind of fight, there was some kind of, they think, weapon used, and that was what was able to take Soldier Boy out. So she's like, if he's able to take, you know, if that weapon is able to take Soldier Boy out, maybe it's something worth looking into that can take Homelander out. And I guess my thing is, if you have a weapon that's that powerful, why haven't they heard of it since the whole Soldier Boy thing? Like, you know, somebody would have had to try to get access to that. Vought, if anything, would have been like, oh, this has the potential to kill our supes, because it already killed, you know, Soldier Boy back in the day was the top superhero. He was the Homelander of his time. So you would think that Vought would have tried to find this weapon so that they can neutralize it, or so that they can kind of keep it safe just in case Homelander ever gets out of control, which we've already
Plan B.
Well, again, unless it was something that was like we saw with the articles that we saw with Mother's Milk, that we don't necessarily know the truth.
But you don't think Vought would know?
I think they would know true enough to not be able to try to give his weapon already. Vought has more money than anybody. Yeah. If they wanted to get their hands on that weapon, they would have.
Right.
I mean,
they would have needed a suit to do it.
Unless they've been looking for it and they just haven't been able to find it. I mean, you could be hit by anybody who, if somebody doesn't want you to find something bad enough, you're not going to find it until they want you to find it. So, I mean, it's like maybe it's just really well hidden. It just could be. Who knows?
It could be a vault cover-up scheme. If he was like Soldier Boy and just as troublesome, get rid of his ass. You know,
Soldier Boy, kill him.
just put him away somewhere and do other stuff.
Mike, you are killing me with the puns tonight, bro. Oh my goodness.
I'm just gonna say them when they pop in my head. But yeah, I mean, it's like I really can't wait to get into Soldier Boy's story because I really want to know what it's about. Because this is like going to be.
I just want to see Jensen.
It's going to be the one thing that could actually potentially challenge Homelander. So it'll be interesting to see like his background.
Yeah.
Well, you're missing the obvious thing here. I mean, if you think about it, the power set. Yeah, he disappeared, 40, 50 years ago, World War II. It's possible that they had his genetic material, and it's possible that Soldier Boy is the genetic biological father of Homelander.
Now, he disappeared in like 83, 84.
Oh, well, he still could have been his father. I mean,
that doesn't mean anything. I mean, he was around during World War II.
Right?
They don't have a sample of his DNA.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So either he's a genetic or he's a clone or a combination of something. Because I just think that Soldier Boy is probably going to be the only one that if he can't take Homelander, he can at least be equal or stop him enough for Sam and everybody else to handle Homelander in a way that he's no longer a threat to literally everyone in the entire world.
I think this is all a red herring for this season. I don't think Soldier Boy is what we think he is. I think it's just they're just grasping in the dark because they're desperate, and this is a last desperate. So what
do you think Soldier Boy is?
I don't know. I don't have any theories.
Dog.
No theories here.
I tried to get one out of you.
Soldier Boy up in this hole could be friend or could be foe.
No,
if he's based on Captain America, he's not going to be anywhere near as strong as Homelander. So
maybe he's a cross between Captain America and Superman. Maybe he's not. Maybe he's not. Maybe there's not one true hero to compare him to. Maybe he's a cross. He's a hybrid of two superheroes.
So you're saying he's Connor Kent?
Sure, why not? No, except maybe. Well, I mean, he could have the same like really bad antisocial like psycho tendencies. Yeah, I mean, yeah, sure.
If they hadn't have told us that Jensen was going to be in this, maybe did they say he was only in flashbacks? Because as far as everybody knows, he's dead.
They said.
No, there's actually I think one of the trailers shows him coming out of what looks like some kind of containment unit, probably cryo or something like that.
Oh, kind of like the Winter Soldier.
Yeah,
and he was also giving an interview with like a modern day newscast, and they were correcting him on his language, and he was giving them back talk.
That's right.
Well, they weren't correcting him. He was just he was being very diva-ish. Yeah, he was like, this is Soldier Boy. He was like, fuck, why do I have to say that? They already know who I am. Right. And then he reads
that's what it was.
Hilarious. This line. Stan Edgar, get him on the phone. I'm not saying this shit. And I'm just watching this whole thing. And I'm like, this is Dean to the 100th level.
But the way the show is right now, as far as we know, everyone assumes he's dead.
Mm-hmm.
So, there's that.
Yeah.
He's dead as far as they're concerned. So.
Yep. So I guess we'll see how he plays into this storyline. But I would think that they're probably, especially given the fact that from what we know, just based on the promos, he is coming out of like I said, a cryo unit. So maybe someone was keeping him, captive, or maybe he was in hiding or something. But I'm assuming he's going to have something to do with the whole Homelander thing. I don't know. They keep talking about a weapon that can kill Homelander. Maybe he's that weapon. And that's why I don't know. I mean, again, this is only first episode. We don't know exactly where the Soldier Boy story is going yet. And, I guess we'll have to figure that out. But I think the only other thing we need to talk about is this damn American Idol type like
You mean Drummer
fuck
Boy?
this dude.
Or,
No,
I'm sorry.
fuck that. Fuck this dude. He's a fucking home wrecker. Fuck this dude. He needs to go back exactly where the fuck he came from. Fuck with my dude Hughie and shit. Fuck this dude.
no, but
He's
Don't be
trouble.
mad at him
need
because he was
Hughie.
first to the party. Don't be mad
I
at
don't
him.
care. I don't care. Look, man.
I'm gonna need Hughie to not come up acting like a jealous jerk though.
I mean, look what is he? I mean, he
No,
just learned
that is
he
not
just learned
okay.
he just learned that a dashing and handsome and chiseled soup was Starlight's first, and they have a long history. Okay, yeah, he shouldn't be acting on it, but I can see why. I agree with you. He shouldn't be acting like that, but I understand.
And they don't have that long a history. I mean, she basically embellished. She was like, "Yeah, we didn't do a whole bunch of stuff, and da 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 da. We just did a lot of butt stuff." And then she's like,
"I mean, he had a long enough history." She wasn't joking. They did a whole lot of stuff, but I'm not that. I mean, wait, I mean, come on now. A Christian household where you couldn't have sex. It's just like going to fifth base. Is this?
Again,
yes, of course.
Don't be mad because he was first to the party. Just
whatever, man. Drummer Boy, he can go somewhere.
Oh, Supersonic. I'm sorry, I said Drummer Boy. Supersonic. Is he gonna race and kill A-Train? Like, is he gonna challenge A-Train to a race?
I don't know if he's like that kind of suit as far as being fast. I don't know. For some reason, I don't know.
Why would you be called Supersonic?
Yeah, but I'm looking at the scene where she's doing that little bachelorette bullshit thingy that they're doing to find a new member of the Seven. Mm-hmm. And like after she tells Livewire to hang up his cape and go, she looks at him and she's like giving them all the flirty.
It's a TV show. Like, they have to do that for the cameras.
Yeah, but that's like
the major selling point of the show is like,
whatever.
Starlight's ex-flame, da 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 da. So of course they're gonna play up that kind of drama or connection. It's fake.
Yeah, and Hughie saw that and reacted. So that's why I'm like, I understand.
Yeah, but
I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's right, but I understand.
But the way he reacted, no, that is not cool. That is not cool. That's that whole possessive. He reacted like that's that whole possessive. I don't trust my girlfriend. No, that's that. Hughie needs to grow the fuck up. Yes, Hughie needs to grow the fuck up. I mean, with everything,
I'm not saying I disagree with you.
With everything I'm not saying they have been through, you really think you really worried about this little boy over here? Man, go somewhere.
The soup that she's known since she was a child that took her virginity. Yes, he has to worry about her.
No,
about
believe
him.
Me.
Yes, he does.
Believe me. No, he ain't got nothing to worry about. She probably don't even remember it.
Look,
I'm with Team Mike on this one.
I'm not saying Supersonic might be a nickname she gave him afterwards, but I mean,
No, I think that was later.
I'm with Mike on this one. I think he's got something to worry about.
I don't think so.
Nah.
Well, it says in the comic books he was a speedster, but on the show he hadn't shown anything.
Okay.
Other than
all you see is him with his shirt off lifting weights. I'm like,
and the whole teeny bopper boy band type.
Right.
I think he's supposed to be a speedster. Because why else would you be Supersonic?
Sound barrier, yeah. Unless he has some sort of vocal thing. So
that's kind of what I was thinking.
So they were basically Justin Timberlake and Britney Spears back in Iowa. See, that's you gotta worry. Oh
yeah,
worry.
definitely. And as far as the thing, Hanako, he could be like Black Bolt, like you said, like a vocal thing, Black Bolt.
Yeah.
So but I agree that if not 100% concerned, he should have at least 30% concern about this kid, this guy that, from her past, because people like her, they never forget their first boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever. And they, whenever they get upset or whenever something's wrong, what do? They go back to them. They have a talk. They have a conversation. They go have coffee. They go, and to the bowling alley, and bowl. I'm just pulling stuff out of the air, but they always tend to go back and confide, and confide leads to whatever. So yeah, I think
No, I think Hughie just needs to grow up.
Plus, I'm not even
Anthony.
saying. I'm not saying Hughie has to worry about her. He needs to worry about him, because not only this is his chance to get into the 7. This is his chance to get into the 7. You don't think he's going to do anything he can to make sure that he doesn't fuck this chance up and use everything that he has in his arsenal to get into the 7 and make that money and become famous? Fame and fortune are 2 reasons that people will do anything to get it. That's why I'm saying he needs to be worried about this shit. I'm not saying he needs to act like a douchebag to do it. I totally agree. He doesn't need to be acting all jealous and shit, but he needs to figure some shit out, though.
She is a grown woman, and she can make grown woman choices.
Exactly.
So if she decides that she wants to go back with Supersonic, oh well, Hughie, get over it.
And if Supersonic decides to make that move and she's not into it, she can tell him, no, this is not happening.
Exactly. So Hughie don't have to worry about nothing because it's not his decision to make. She can make it on her own.
I'm just looking out for the homie that ain't got no powers. I'm just saying.
Hughie needs to grow the fuck
up. He ain't got to act like a jerk, but he needs to, you know. I'm not even saying he has every right to be slightly jealous. Not as jealous as he was in this show, because he took the shit too. I was like, bruh, like, you need to calm down. I mean, I understand why he didn't. I understand why he was so worked up. But actually,
no,
I see your. I see your point. After a
5-minute meeting, no.
This isn't a 5-minute meeting though. They were.
I'm saying after he met him and you know, he walks in and sees them talking and he automatically is like, he's feeling some kind of. I'm like, dude, really? Like, that's that whole toxic, like, oh, you're my girlfriend, so you can't have any male friend type thing. No, absolute bullshit. No.
I'm with Hanako. Bullshit.
I'm just saying that he sees a suit that has a history with his girlfriend, who's seen her drunk and seen her biblically. He has a little something to worry about. He knows her biblically. He has a little something to worry about. I'm just saying. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying.
I'm gonna tell you this. I'm still like really, really, really good friends with my first. There is never a time when I think, oh, you know what? No. He ain't got nothing to worry about.
See, and that sounds like a Hughie problem. So Hughie needs to let it go.
Right.
Either you're confident in your relationship with her or you're not.
And like I said, they have been through too much in the last, at this point, 2 years for, like, y'all have literally fought back against superheroes or supes that were trying to kill you. You guys had to break up because supes were trying to kill you, because Homelander was threatening you. You really gonna be worried about this little boy? Man, if you don't go sit your ass down somewhere.
Okay. That's fine. I'm just saying. I understand why he reacted that way. I'd say it was right. I kept saying, as I've been saying, I ain't saying he's right. I'm just saying I understand. I'm just saying. That's all I'm saying. So you leave it at that. Again, I can agree, disagree about all that. I'm just saying that I understand why he was mad. He'd have to react like that. I understand why he did it though.
Well,
I get it.
He would need to grow up.
But and also, I mean, it's not like he could do anything about it if, like you said, if she chooses him over. If she chooses supersonic motivating words are creating over him, then that's all that he.
Sonic motivating words are created every time.
You should have left that for later so I could end the show on that. But
I'll circle back around.
I'm gonna be honest. We've been watching this show now for 2 seasons. We see how it usually ends when they introduce new supes. I'm really not worried about Supersonic. Because if he makes it, I'm just saying, if he makes it past episode 2, episode 3, I would be surprised. Because every time they introduce a new supe to us, that's not a part of the main story. Because Stormfront, they introduced her to us, but we knew kind of off the bat she was going to be part of the main story. I feel like Supersonic is just kind of one of those distraction type stories. Like he's thrown there in the mix. Of course, you know, they're trying to find replacements for the 7. They're probably going to introduce a few other supes, and then they're probably going to be gone. Just like who was the dude that was supposed
Lamplighter?
to? Yes, the one who got his ears boxed. Yeah.
The blind, the blind.
No, that was
the
the deaf guy.
Yeah. What was his
blind guy?
Oh, yeah. Lamplighter. Yeah.
What was that? What was that guy's name?
That was one of the Ashmore twins. I think it was. I want to say it was
Sean.
Aaron. It was Sean.
Oh no, it was Aaron. Yeah, I think it's Sean. So I missed it out. So was Supersonic, was he wearing red at any point in any part of his costume?
Yes.
There's a joke in there.
His costume is white, but I think some of his star is red.
Okay, because if that, he makes him a red shirt.
There's a what?
He's a red
shirt.
Oh my god, that's hilarious. I get it.
Oh well, I guess we'll see how much of a role Supersonic plays. But like I said, especially given the fact that they're introducing him as part of a, kind of like American Idol type reality show where they get to vote him off, or like The Bachelor, like you said, or whatever. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, aren't they
where he said
for being in the 7? Isn't that where they're competing for?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yes. See, that all that did is made me homesick, and this is showing how old I am. This made me homesick or nostalgia sick for American Gladiators. I used to stay up on Saturday nights and watch the hell out of American Gladiators.
It did kind of remind me of American Gladiators. Yeah. Yes, it did.
The best thing ever.
It did.
Yeah.
But I'm intrigued by this though, because they could do so many different things with this, on who they put on the team, who they keep off the team, and just setups, because you can see that it's going to be difficult for Homelander to accept anybody to come on the team that he doesn't approve of. You know what I'm saying? Or he recommends, or he actually puts them up as a candidate. So I don't think that anyone, even if they're like perfect, is how Homelander is going to approve of, because it's not his choice. I mean, and
it's going to be interesting because, with Starlight having, if she accepts, I think, if she has a bigger role to play in all of this, then chances are she's going to have something to say about that too. If she's going to be the co-captain of the 7,
right? Yeah.
Then you already know.
I don't understand why she would even take that, because that would just put a big target on her back.
She doesn't have a big enough one already.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, facts.
Why would you make it worse?
And why would you even suggest that anyway? I mean, doesn't he realize that would just put her in even more danger? I mean,
that's why I think Edgar has all kinds of stuff.
He's got plans on top of plans on top of plans on top of
Yes, he
running
does.
around.
Absolutely.
This could just be like,
100%.
let me do this, and this will keep Homelander occupied.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so I don't know.
Yeah.
This episode had a lot going on. A lot.
Yeah.
If I remember from the comic books, Starlight is one of the more powerful supes.
Yeah.
So it's like Homelander, Maeve, and then maybe her. I guess supposedly Black Noir in the comic book is, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is he still recovering from his death by almond joy, or almost death by almond joy?
He must be.
He probably is.
Peanut allergy.
Yeah, I forgot about that. See, I need to go back and read the comic book, because it's been so long that I've forgotten half of the stuff, because they showed a picture online today of Soldier Boy's costume for the comic book, and I was like, oh yeah, I vaguely remember that, because they were talking about how they had changed it, for the show. So
okay,
I forgot more than I remember.
Okay. Oh, did we skip anything? Like I said, there was a lot that happened in this episode.
I think we covered everything.
Covered a lot, and Oh, shout out to Kimiko trying to become Stevie Wonder and playing the piano and getting on what's his name's nerves. He's like, oh, it's Stevie Wonder. I mean, she has. This is why I'm saying there's going to be a musical episode, not just a couple of scenes. It's going to be a whole episode with Kimiko sitting at the piano, like playing and singing and doing all this other stuff. So just get used to it, Aunt. It's going to happen. I'm sorry.
Well, I don't care because I love Kimiko and Frenchie, and as long as I get to see them on my screen, I'll watch whatever. If they want to sit and sing and dance for an episode, I will watch it, and we'll make Anthony watch it, and he's gonna have to talk about it. So whatever. Don't shake your head, Anthony. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. You'll be all right.
JJ fat is devastating.
I'm saying exactly. If Supersonic's motivated, Hughie's gonna be hating.
And on that note, I think we can end the episode. You can find us online at www.fandomhybrid.com. We are on social media on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Fandom Hybrid. You can watch our videos on our YouTube channel and listen to us on all major podcast streaming platforms. Thanks for listening. We hope you join the conversation next time.